You are exhausted. Not physically, but emotionally. You are drained. You are depleted. You have nothing left, and you do not understand why. Nothing particularly bad happened. You are not going through a crisis. Your life looks fine on the surface, but you are completely emotionally exhausted. And most people do not understand this. Most people think that if your life looks fine, you should feel fine. Most people think that emotional exhaustion should have an obvious cause. Most people think that you are being dramatic, or that you need to just get more sleep or exercise or eat better. But emotional exhaustion does not work that way. Emotional exhaustion is not always about one big thing. Emotional exhaustion is often about 1,000 small things. Emotional exhaustion is often the result of patterns that you have not even noticed. Emotional exhaustion is often about the way you live your life, in ways that are slowly draining you. The first reason you feel emotionally exhausted for no clear reason is that you have been people-pleasing your entire life. You have learned to put other people's needs before your own. You have learned to manage other people's emotions. You have learned to be responsible for other people's happiness. You have learned to say yes to things you do not want to do. You have learned to accommodate people's preferences instead of honoring your own. And this is exhausting. Not acutely, but chronically. Day after day after day, you are spending your emotional energy on other people. Day after day, you are managing their feelings. Day after day, you are sacrificing what you want for what they want. Day after day, you are saying yes when you want to say no. And after months or years of this, you become depleted. You run out of emotional energy. You have nothing left because you have given it all away. You are exhausted because you have been spending your emotional resources on everyone except yourself. Here is the part nobody tells you. People-pleasing is one of the most emotionally exhausting ways to live, because you never get to relax. You never get to be yourself. You are always monitoring how other people are feeling. You are always adjusting yourself based on their needs. You are always on. You are always performing. You are always managing. The second reason you feel emotionally exhausted for no clear reason is that you have poor boundaries. You let people cross your boundaries. You do not enforce consequences. You allow people to disrespect you. You allow people to take advantage of you. You allow people to dump their emotional problems on you. And each boundary violation is a small wound. Each time someone disrespects you and you do not say anything, it depletes you. Each time someone dumps their problems on you and you take them on, it drains you. Each time someone takes advantage of you and you let them, it exhausts you. Most people do not realize how much their lack of boundaries is exhausting them. Most people think that having boundaries is mean or selfish. Most people think that if they just absorb other people as bad behavior, if they just let people cross their lines, if they just take on other people as emotional garbage, then people will like them more, or respect them more. But it is the opposite. When you do not have boundaries, people do not respect you more. Te amore. They push harder. They dump more on you, and you become more exhausted. The third reason you feel emotionally exhausted for no clear reason is that you are constantly managing your emotions. You are not expressing how you actually feel. You are not letting yourself be sad when you are sad. You are not letting yourself be angry when you are angry. You are not letting yourself be scared when you are scared. You are suppressing your emotions to make other people comfortable. And suppressing emotions is exhausting. Keeping feelings locked inside takes energy. Pretending to be fine when you are not fine takes energy. Managing your face and your tone and your body language to hide what you are actually feeling takes energy. Constant emotional suppression is like running a marathon every single day. The fourth reason you feel emotionally exhausted for no clear reason is that you are carrying trauma that you have not processed. You have experienced things that hurt you and you have just tried to move on without actually dealing with them. You have stored these experiences in your body. You have locked them away in your mind. But they are still there, and they are still taking energy to suppress. Unprocessed trauma is exhausting. Your nervous system stays activated. Your body stays in a state of stress. You are constantly vigilant, even if you are not consciously aware of it. The cost of keeping all of that locked inside is enormous. The fifth reason you feel emotionally exhausted for no clear reason is that you are living inauthentically. You are not being yourself. You are performing a version of yourself that you think people want. You are hiding your real thoughts and real feelings and real perspectives. You are being someone other than who you actually are. And this is incredibly exhausting because you have to be constantly on. You have to be constantly monitoring. You have to be constantly adjusting. You have to be constantly hiding. Being inauthentic requires constant energy. Being your real self requires almost no energy. But you are not being your real self, so you are exhausted. The sixth reason you feel emotionally exhausted for no clear reason is that you are in relationships or situations that are fundamentally draining. You are around people who do not respect you. You are in an environment that does not value you. You are in situations where you are constantly anxious or uncomfortable. You are spending significant time in relationships or places that drain your emotional resources. And you might not even realize how much these relationships or situations are exhausting you. You might just think tease is normal. This is what relationships are like. This is how work is. This is what life is. But what is actually happening is that you are slowly being drained by being around people or in situations that do not feed you. Here is the part nobody tells you. Not all emotional exhaustion has a dramatic cause. Not all emotional depletion comes from a big crisis or a major betrayal or a loss. Some of the most exhausting ways to live do not look exhausting from the outside. Some of the most depleting patterns do not feel like they are killing you in the moment, but they accumulate and eventually you are so empty that you do not know how you got here. So what actually changes this? What actually helps with emotional exhaustion that has no clear cause? The first thing is that you have to start saying no. You have to start protecting your emotional energy. You have to start being willing to disappoint people. You have to start prioritizing your own needs. You have to start being willing to not be available to everyone all the time. The second thing is that you have to set and enforce boundaries. You have to decide what you will and will not accept from people. You have to be willing to walk away from people who disrespect your boundaries. You have to understand that boundaries are not mean. Boundaries are necessary. The third thing is that you have to start expressing your emotions. You have to let yourself feel what you are feeling. You have to let yourself be sad or angry or scared or disappointed. You have to stop suppressing your emotions to make other people comfortable. You have to understand that your emotions are valid and they deserve to be expressed. The fourth thing is that you have to process your trauma. You have to find a way to work through the things that have hurt you. You have to help your nervous system realize that the threat has passed. You have to release the stored trauma from your body and mind. The fifth thing is that you have to start being authentic. You have to figure out who you actually are. You have to start expressing that to people. You have to be willing to be yourself, even if not everyone likes you. You have to understand that being real is worth the risk of rejection. The sixth thing is that you have to evaluate your relationships and situations. You have to honestly assess whether the people and environments you are spending time in are feeding you or draining you. You have to be willing to change who you spend time with. You have to be willing to remove yourself from situations that are not serving you. Most people do not do these things. Most people would rather stay emotionally exhausted than do the hard work of changing their patterns. Most people would rather keep people-pleasing than set boundaries. Most people would rather keep suppressing emotions than express them. Most people would rather stay inauthentic than risk being themselves. But you know now. You know that emotional exhaustion for no clear reason is actually about patterns. You know that you are not just tired. You know that something in the way you are living is depleting you. You know that if you are emotionally exhausted, something has to change. So the question becomes, are you going to keep living the same way and keep being emotionally exhausted? Or are you actually going to make changes to stop the depletion? Because emotional exhaustion is a signal. It is your body and mind telling you that something is not working. It is telling you that you are giving away too much, or hiding too much, or accepting too much. It is telling you that you need to change something. And the longer you ignore that signal, the more depleted you become. The longer you keep the same patterns, the more exhausted you get. The longer you do not change anything, the deeper the exhaustion gets. So you have to listen to the exhaustion. You have to understand that it is telling you something important. You have to be willing to make changes based on what it is telling you. You have to be willing to stop people-pleasing. You have to be willing to set boundaries. You have to be willing to express your emotions. You have to be willing to process your trauma. You have to be willing to be authentic. You have to be willing to change your relationships and situations. And yes, all of that is hard. Yes, all of that requires vulnerability. Yes, all of that requires letting go of patterns that have kept you safe in some way. But the alternative is to stay emotionally exhausted. And that is a worse choice.